Alright, just got back from Yosemite National Park. I'm going to quickly be going through the photos, making my selections. I think I have about 700 photos to cull through. See how fast I can get this done. Usually I'll take this iPad if we travel anywhere and go through the photos at the end of the day, but this time I just left the iPad at home and I was like, well, I'll just do a little video when I get back. So let's see how many photos I have here. Yeah, I got about 700 photos on this card, and I have this other camera to my right I'll go through after this. So a beautiful day, or beautiful weekend in Yosemite. The first day, it was basically sunny the whole day, as you can see. I think I'm going to select that one. Beautiful weather, like 45 and sunny the whole time. A lot of snow on the ground. A lot of these pictures are probably gonna suck pretty bad. I do high contrast black and white photography, so it's really hard to take good photos in the forest, I have noticed. Luckily there was sun, so that did make it a little bit easier. I think that one is the one. In the snow. This, all these photos I'm going through, this was in the Mariposa Grove in the south end of Yosemite. Absolutely gorgeous there. The pictures definitely don't do it justice. Here I am trying to make a selfie. Look, that's the look of failure on the selfies there. I'm not gonna keep any of those. I usually try to get like one selfie a day whenever I go shoot, but this trip I was not really feeling the selfies. This was a British couple that I ended up talking to quite a bit. Pretty cool people. They're from Norwich, southeast section of England. This is like a bronze, I don't even know. It's like a map, a topographic bronze map. That's near the entrance to the grove. And this is showing the grizzly giant. Probably the coolest tree in the park. I think I'm gonna keep this one. After looking at it, I wish I would have angled my camera a different way, and so I could isolate the grizzly giant, but I'm gonna keep that one. This is a big root of one of the giant sequoias that fell down. I'm gonna keep that. Yeah, it was hard to find a giant sequoia that was kind of isolated by himself, so this one was a bit isolated. So I was taking photos of that one. Well, I wish I would have backed up a little bit and captured the whole bottom of the tree. I'm going to keep it and review it here in a little bit. I was trying to get some starburst. Big trees in the back. Man-made things with the nature. I was like taking photos of that. Here the light was like super dull. The Bachelor and Three Graces. That was like one giant sequoia and three smaller ones right behind it. Here I was zooming in. I think the light came out briefly. Yeah, the light came out right here. And I was just trying to capture the texture of the trees, but looking at these photos now, looks like a failure. This one, the sun came out, and we got the nice silhouetted sign there. I'll keep it just to look at it, but maybe one of these is better. Got all the snow, that one. You can see here it's brighter. This one not so bright because the sun was fading away. This is just some snow on one of the cut trees. This is the grizzly giant. These branches are super gnarly. This is the base, but I just cannot capture a good image of it. Does not look good. At this point, we had hiked about 3 miles, so that is my better half's exhausted looking face. Not exhausted, but we're starting to get a little tired. Yeah, this was a tree that was cut with a chainsaw, and the very edge of the tree was not cut all the way, and those are just pieces of the wood. This is tunnel tree. Yeah, it's a big tree with a hole in it. Pretty cool. Standing on some logs. I'll keep it. Oh, getting a super or telephoto picture there. I like these 3 logs with the snow on it, but I was shooting right into the sun. Not really feeling it. I would be happy if I had 20 keepers from this entire trip. I was trying to get a selfie here with my better half. Yeah, that one's fine. And all these people, of course, they carve things on the tree. And since we live in the LA area, I took a photo of it. These are some really, really tiny little mushrooms. Yeah, I like that one. It's got a nice texture. I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, this was near the top. So we hiked from the trailhead to Wawona Point, and this was about probably 100 meters from the trailhead. We hadn't seen any wildlife the entire hike. This is about 5-6 miles in, and boom, this raven just appeared out of nowhere. My new friend, he wanted some food, and he let me get really close to him. I like this one with all the texture of the pine needles. Yeah, he let me get about, I don't know, 3-4 feet away from him. Kind of like that one a little bit more. I'm too low on that. And then he moved to this branch, and I made sure to isolate his black body on the white snow so you could see him perfectly and he could stick out. Yep, I'm getting a little bit closer here. You might be able to tell him this is about as close as I got before he flew away. I think I like this one the most because this one's a little too close. And this is the top, Wawona Point. Beautiful view. We were the only ones there. It is quite a grind. I think we probably went up about 2,000 feet through the snow. And as you can see, this is Wawona Valley. And there was a campground over here. It was they had a campfire going. You can see the smoke, super cool. Can't see in this photo though. Yeah, I like this. I like how you can see the valley and all the snow down there on the grass. Yeah, getting some decent pictures, and I'm kind of surprised because I wasn't really feeling too inspired on this hike because we were basically just hiking through a forest, and yeah, it was just hard for me to feel like I was taking a good photo of basically just trees. Had a moon, a light, because at this point we were near sunset and the light was starting to hit the moon, and we were just hauling ass back to the car at this point because by this time it was almost dark and we were 5 miles the whole way back going as fast as possible, so I was not taking photos. And this is the next morning when we were driving into Yosemite Valley. This is before sunrise, and I was trying to get like a kind of an abstract photo of all the fog rolling through the pine trees. Yeah, maybe that one's okay. This was Wawona. I don't even know if it's called a village, but as you can see, that's blurry. I had to end up raising my ISO a little bit because it was not even sunrise yet. It was still pretty dark out. Yep, that photo was blurry. This one was not, because that's when I raised my ISO. Ah, I like that one. One of the cabins. Kind of a cool scene there. Yeah, I like that first one more, I think. Yep, she went up the steps here on one of the cabins. That one's okay, that one's fine. Yeah. This is a covered bridge, but it was just so dark, it was kind of hard for me to get a good photo of it. Oh yeah, I felt like I had a good scene here. Her walking through the tunnel of the bridge. Yeah, I think one of these is probably going to be the best. She had no clue I was taking her photos. She was just walking back and forth here. You can actually see a little bit of motion blur there. That was a picture shooting out of the bridge into the creek. Oh, that's kind of cool. Got some cool motion blur there. Motion blur on that one. Yeah, I don't know if I had her pose on that one. Actually, I kind of like that one the most because her head, I think it's because her head is completely surrounded by the snow and it sticks out. Side of the covered bridge here. This is the infamous tunnel view, and this is how early we were. There was only this amount of people there, which is pretty amazing. The other 2 times we've been, it's just can't even hardly find parking. So that's what happens when you get there early enough. I was trying to get a photo of the guy with the umbrella. There's my better half taking a time lapse. Beautiful, beautiful morning. All the fog rolling into the valley. Absolutely spectacular. I sat at this location for a little bit and I was taking photos, of course. I don't really like any of these. Yeah, there's always this pine tree that sticks out and kind of ruins the photo for me if you shoot from that area. This is Bridal Veil Falls, which I will show you later because that was, I think, our next stop. Yeah, I like these ones the most. Really like that one, but you can see it was just one of those dull mornings, no sun. And so it's not a super high contrast scene. I really like that one. The fog rolling in. Oh yeah, I like that one. You can see the fall. I can't remember which peak this is called, but the valley here with the fog rolling in. Actually, this one's better, I think, because it's exposed properly. Yep, I was just firing away over here. I was just looking at all these trees on the tops of the mountains as the fog was rolling in. This raven right here, another raven, set my car alarm off. He landed on the car and the alarm started going off. And I was like, well, if you're gonna make me turn the alarm off, I'm gonna take your photo, dude. And at this point, as you can see, there's more people because we've been there for about 20 minutes. Maybe this one. These are real hard to capture because I'm trying to expose for this, and then over here it's much brighter. And I'm shooting with JPEG, so I'm not doing RAW. There is no highlight recovery. There is only what you get in the camera. Oh yeah, this is Bridal Veil Falls. This was our next stop. Yeah, this is a nice photo because you got the snowy roof of the bathroom here. I kind of feel like that's a different type of photo. This one has a car that was pulling out. Maybe I'll keep that one. And there's Bridal Veil Falls. I took so many photos of this waterfall. I think I like that one more. That one's kind of cool. Yeah, that was zoomed in really close. It almost looks like, it doesn't even look like water. It looks like fire. It's trying to get like a very zoomed in abstract type of photo of the water. Yeah, that's kind of cool. At this point I'm at 400 millimeters. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool too. Underexposed, but I'm gonna hold on to it. Yeah, more the super close. I was just firing away, firing away, firing away. It doesn't look like they're quite in focus, maybe. I was increasing the exposure here. I believe I was at f16 because I wanted motion blur. to create a more abstract scene, but none of them are really interesting to me. And I found this scene, if you walk around the other side of the bridal veil, there's these 3 bridges. And this was the area around the 3 bridges, and I exposed only for the water, and I wanted to get all these trees around it. I think I like that middle one the most. This was a couple meters away. This is the very top of the waterfall. Kind of cool. Yep, I was just trying to get what I could here. Okay, yeah, this is Yosemite Falls now. Yep, you can see Yosemite Falls there. This is, I can't remember the name of that bridge. This area right here is just absolutely gorgeous. I was practicing a little bit of street photography here. Yeah, I like this with the kid, the waterfall. Yeah, the clouds rolling through the mountains here. Real nice. Took quite a few. I like them all. I just want to get the one that's the most spread out. I usually like the photos where you can see the separation in the legs, but I kind of like this one because the kid is still making kind of an interesting movement, and he's perfectly spaced between the parents and his sister, so I'm going to keep that one. This one's kind of nice too because the sister is moving. I really got lucky because she was wearing mostly all white and sticks out from the river there. I think I'm going to keep this one. Okay. Sun came out briefly, as you can see. A little bit more pop. So there's Yosemite Falls. This was pointing the opposite direction. There's a lot of people out there. This is my better half. And there's that kid again. Alright, yeah, I like that one. I tried to get the leg in stride there. By the way, this kid was just whining and crying the whole entire time. Just crying about nothing. Kids just don't appreciate the beauty. Yeah, the way these clouds or this fog rolls in, I don't even know if it's fog or cloud. I'm guessing it's fog. I mean, within 10 seconds, the scene is dramatically different. And I was trying to isolate her, my lovely better half, but those people are in the background, so I'm just gonna move on. This was shooting under the bridge the other way. This guy was walking. I liked his reflection there, but it's just so dark back here. It just looks like a guy walking in some snow. Not really impressed by it, so I'm gonna move on. Yeah, this is kind of nice scene back here with the fog, and you can see the tips of the pine trees, but it's just a kind of a blob of people. Here I was trying to wait for them to get spread out, but like this, the top of his head is cut off, the top of his head is cut off on that, and I really do not like that. Yeah, I think this one's better. I made sure to lift my camera up so her white face would stick out from the background a little bit better. Here I am, I zoomed in again to Yosemite Falls, an absolutely lovely scene. Yeah, it's okay. More fog. Yeah, the fog was rolling in. I think this is at 400 millimeters. Here's that same family again. I was waiting for them to get all spread out, and I think, yeah, this one they are all spread out. You can tell, talking. She's looking down. The mom is consoling her little crybaby kid because he's just crying the whole entire time. And this one, I saw these little sheets of ice in the river here, and I was waiting for people to walk over the bridge because all this was foggy, so I knew their bodies would kind of pop out from the background. And I was trying to get them evenly spaced through these pillars, but it didn't really happen, so here we are, some more of these photos. Yeah, like I said, the little girl, she was wearing all white, really popping off from the background here. Okay, I lifted my camera up really high to get her completely in the white. I think I like that one. I like the way her legs are shaped there. And this is the fog rolling in, and I noticed a snowman out here, and I was trying to get this. I took a whole bunch of photos, and then I noticed all this fog was right behind the pine trees, and the pine trees really stuck out. So at this point, I'm trying to make a photo with the snowman and these trees firing away here. And I really don't know if any of these work all that well. Not too impressed by any of them, or that one. Those sheets of ice again. This is another photographer taking some photos. You can see his camera there. This was in another location, I think. Oh yeah, by this church, or the chapel. Just some foggy trees, but nah. Kind of like that with you got the fog and the mountains here with that chapel. Kind of a nice scene. I was across the street here trying to get a decent photo, but not really interesting to me. Then I was pointing up at the top of the chapel, and I was trying to frame it in between these pine needles. And I think like this one, I kind of like that one. All right, and okay, this was before our hike to Mirror Lake. These people were walking along this path, and I was just trying to get them spaced out because there's a nice little layer of fog, but not really too impressed by that. This was walking across the bridge. There was some fog down there and some more fog up top, but it's really not showing what I was seeing in person. And this was me shooting the other side. It's okay, but sun came out for a little bit too. This day was raining about half the time, but I tell you, January, this is the time to go visit Yosemite because we had no problem finding parking spots. The weather was good enough. We were not miserable. Kind of like this. This is at Mirror Lake. They had these little islands just covered in snow here. And I was trying to get it framed up, but none of them are really exciting me too much. And here it started raining again, as you can see. Simple rain droplet photo, pretty boring. Yep, I don't even know what that is. Oh, I think somebody was throwing rocks in the ice, and this is them throwing rocks on ice, and then who knows how long after the ice was trying to repair itself. But not really that interesting to me. This was the top of a peak just kind of popping out of the fog. Not really that interesting. This was in the middle of Mirror Lake. Kind of like that one, yeah. It's not bad. Some green moss on one of the trees. I noticed it was just kind of sparkling because the sun came out briefly. Yeah, this is nice. This is the bottom of, this is the trail going to Lower Yosemite Falls. And yep, I took two there. Which one is better? Yeah, at this point we are pretty exhausted because we are probably at 45,000 steps for the 2 days. And we were tired. This trail was super easy. Oh yeah, I found these two kids. This is the moment the kid caught me and then he waved at me and then I felt awkward. And it wasn't really worth much because none of the photos. I really like this one. I like it when you can see the features. Yeah, you can see his mouth open, his nose. You can tell exactly what he's doing. Yep, I like that one. And this is, okay, we made it to the actual falls, the viewing area, and I was trying to get some photos of the water splashing off the rocks here. Some super close photos. I think I was slowing down the shutter speed. Yeah, it's hard to make these abstract photos really stick out in JPEG because there's no post-processing. Dangerous to climb beyond here. Yeah, we did it anyways, and it probably wasn't the best idea because we had just drank a beer and I was feeling a little tipsy because I don't drink. But these were the rocks that we went to. This girl was out here just laying on the rocks. Doesn't look too comfortable, but got a little bit better view. This is the lower Yosemite Falls. After a while, you see so many of these photos, you kind of take for granted what you're looking at, and you're just like, ah, it's another waterfall, but it is definitely beautiful. I kind of like this one. It's like a nice V. It just looks cool. That was the top of the lower falls. This was a bronze placard of John Muir. And this is the lower Yosemite Falls that I was just talking about, and this is the upper Yosemite Falls. Another little viewpoint. Alright, this is El Capitan Meadow. So many people out here snowball fighting, so I tried to just kind of walked out there and loomed around like a weirdo. I tried to get a good photo. Yeah, you can see him. He's really giving it his all. Throwing a snowball. I think one of these might be better. Yeah, he's throwing it. You can see the snowball there, and then boom. I like this one because this person's bending over. They weren't playing at all. They were just cold. And you got this tree framed up. Yeah, that's a pretty solid one. Back to these guys, but see, these two kids are overlapped, so I don't like it. Oh, and this third kid. So I'm gonna move on from these. None of these are keepers. Yep, just some stuff trying to live in the snow. This is El Capitan with some mountains and trees to the left of it, but by this time the light had completely faded and it was not the most interesting scene. And here we got two pairs. We got this pair of people snowball fighting, and then those four back there that I took a photo of earlier. And I think I got them throwing at one another. Yeah, but you can't really, they're just kind of just hanging out. Not really, yeah, this was the very end. This is, it's not tunnel view, it's Yosemite Valley view. This is the last stop before you go back up the valley. And this is the first time we'd ever stop here. This is a super nice view because you can just park right there in the parking lot and you can just sit there and watch a beautiful 1,000-foot waterfall. And it had these piles of grass in the middle of this creek with snow on top of it. So I was trying to frame up that. Yeah, I really like, I think this first one was, I like this one more because the snow is a little bit closer to the bottom of the frame. Actually, I probably like that one more. I like that one too. Which one? I think actually this one's better because probably because this falls on the right third. Maybe it's, you know, one of those compositional tricks that tricks your mind into thinking it's a better photo than it really is. The sun was coming out right at this moment. This is right during sunrise. I was trying to get a super telephoto photo. I think this was at 200 millimeters. I was just firing away as the sun was coming out, trying to frame the waterfall in the background. But I think at this point I noticed I was too centered and I wanted to have her more to the right of the frame. Maybe that one. Oh, okay, this was at 200 millimeters. I think I like the closer ones more, like that one. This one you can kind of see the sparkle in her eyes. I switched to landscape. Kind of like that. It was slightly overexposed, but I like the whole vibe there. Yeah, she just sat there and was kind enough to let me just blast away a ton of photos of her. Sun came out momentarily, and here you can see El Capitan and the whole valley. Just absolutely gorgeous. But I really don't like how everything is this dark. Taking pictures of that again. Wow, I took a lot of photos over here. Light hitting the scene. Not really that interesting. That was tunnel view. We stopped at tunnel view one more time on the way out to Took some more foggy photos. That was a couple in white. Just taking it all in with the fall. Maybe this one. Is this thing still on? Hopefully. Yes, it is still on. All right, I got 59 photos out of those 700. I'm going to import those. All right. Just like that. And then I don't have near as many photos on this. This is like more the snapshot, street photography type of camera that I use. All right, let's get these going here. All right. Oh yeah, this was right outside the Tejon Pass. The wind was so bad, these huge dust balls, I don't even know what they're called. We're in the middle of the highway here. You can see I'm like trying to dodge these things while we're going 70 miles an hour and take a good photo. So I wanted to capture one that just really showed them all in the middle of the highway. Yep, all of these are showing that. I mean, look how bad. I think I actually hit this one. Yep, that's the one that I hit. Kind of crazy seeing the wind was blowing so hard. I was just firing away, but not really all that interesting of a photo. Fire truck, yeah, I was just like, oh, why not take a photo? A whole bunch of cows, took a photo. USA. Yeah, this was like major motion blur. This was after our day one. When we hiked 12 miles, we were absolutely exhausted. We went to the El Cid Mexican restaurant in Oakhurst. And yeah, not really liking any of these photos. That was some flan because it was my birthday, so I got some free flan. Really, I kind of like that you got the white with the shadow. You got the plate framed up, so that looks nice. She was not really in the mood for a photo because we were so exhausted. This was at Yosemite Village when we were drinking a beer. Don't really like any of those. This we were feeling much more happy. Had a couple little sips, I like that, but yeah, really like one of these. Yeah, I think this one, really like that. The black and white looks great. Their sweater really turned out to be nice. This was after Yosemite when we were done for the day. We went to go eat some Chinese food. Yeah, who likes having their photo taken while they're eating? But I like that one because I couldn't get a good photo of her, so I just made her pose with the noodles. And these were some egg custard thingies. And I was trying to frame them in between all of these. The rabbit, or the, what is that, the zodiac thing. And this was this morning when we were eating breakfast. And on the drive home, I saw this water tower. It was real foggy drive home. So I was trying to capture that. And then I saw an In-N-Out semi-truck. Quality you can taste, and that is definitely accurate. Yeah, but it is just not a good photo. So 5 photos out of that. Import that. All right, so I have, what, 60-something photos here. I'm going to go ahead and edit these down. Delete some duplicates. Gonna lightly process any of them that I feel like maybe need brightened up or add some contrast at it. Then I'm going to upload them to my website, and after I get that done, I'll be right back here and I'm going to show you the completed project when they are uploaded on my website. All right, it's about a half hour later. I did some final edits to the photos, and I did a little processing to a couple of them that were slightly underexposed, added some contrast to a couple, just made them pop a little bit more. I uploaded them to my Google Photos, and then to my WordPress, and made my blog post with all the final photos. I ended up keeping 46, so here they are. And I'll throw the link to this this blog post if by chance you want to check out the photos on my website. But I'll scroll through them real quick here. The final photos, and I just love this workflow. It's just great. I mean, this whole thing going from 700 or 800 photos to my Apple Photos and to Google Photos and my WordPress, and then completing a blog post where I have all my keepers. It feels like I completed a project, you know, and I did it all with an hour, and then I'm ready to move on to the next time I go shoot photos, as opposed to before. I would shoot a million RAWs, taking forever to process them all, taking up a whole bunch of storage space. Just was not working for me. So yeah, there it is right there. That is all I got, and see you later.